I always wanted to protect the most vulnerable, to fight for the underdog, and being a prosecutor is the perfect job for that. You're there in the courtroom, bringing voice to justice, bringing voice to those who've never been heard before, that have been harmed in the worst ways possible, and you're there fighting for them, fighting for justice. There is no job like it, and I'm so glad I chose this profession.
I wanted to become a prosecutor due to the profound impact that the law has actually had on my life. I was adopted from China, and that was a result of the one-child policy in China, and it was American immigration laws that allowed me to come to America and gave me everything that I have today, and I wanted to use the law to help others and change their lives as well by helping victims of crime.
I chose to become a criminal prosecutor because of some of the experiences that my mother had in the criminal justice system. She was on the wrong side of the law in some cases, but also was the victim of crimes herself. And so I wanted to become a prosecutor because I recognize that there are individuals in the system who need help to get their lives back on track, as well as individuals who just need to be brought to justice. And so I wanted to contribute as part of my memory to my mom.
I became a prosecutor because I wanted to represent my community. You see, I grew up here in City Heights, and I know firsthand what it's like to grow up in a marginalized community. And because of that, I was inspired to represent victims and represent members of the community, and I do it now as a San Diego County Deputy DA.
I am born and raised here in San Diego, and so being a voice for my community and speaking on behalf and fighting for those victims of crime here in my hometown was super important to me. And once I saw the work that we do in this office, I knew that this was the job for me.
I became a prosecutor because I wanted to make my community a better, safer place, and I wanted to be the voice for people who needed one.
Both my parents were actually prosecutors in Los Angeles County, and so I grew up seeing how much they loved being prosecutors, how much they were fulfilled by their job. And so when I decided that I was going to go to law school, I knew that the best path for me was to be a prosecutor too. I had a background in theater, and I felt like, you know, being a prosecutor, being able to be in court, to, you know, present in front of a jury, I could use those theater skills in my career.
I wanted to become a prosecutor because I wanted to work in public service. I wanted to serve my community. After I graduated from college, I did some volunteer work at a women's shelter and got to see victims testifying in court in domestic violence cases. That experience really shaped me and gave me the passion to go into this work and to work directly with victims.
This is my second career. I am a former school teacher, but I knew from the moment I set foot in law school that I wanted to be a prosecutor. First and foremost, to work and help bring hope and justice for the most vulnerable, like our children. Additionally, as a Spanish-speaking Latina, I also wanted to work with the oftentimes disenfranchised because of barriers. They don't always report crimes. And again, helping them to bring hope and justice to our Latino community.
The more I looked into it, the more I interviewed people, I realized I want to be somebody that goes into court and does trials and feels good representing those people who are suffering, the voiceless. And the victims that I've dealt with over the course of my 20-year career have been exactly the people that I feel good about standing up for every day. People that have been stabbed, people that have been shot, people that have been injured in some way significantly and who are traumatized by what happened to them. And I get to come to court and I get to look them in the eye and give them the best sense of justice that I possibly can.
Prosecutors serve a very unique function. A prosecutor is the only attorney in the courtroom who has the duty to protect the victim in the courtroom, to protect the victim of the crime, but to also protect the right of the accused, their constitutional rights, and to protect the right of the community to be safe. There is no other person in the criminal justice system that has all three sacred duties, so it is an essential function of criminal justice to have ethical, competent, dedicated prosecutors.
Unfortunately, I got to know the DA's office because my son, Juan Carlos Munoz Jr., was a victim of gun violence. He was murdered, plain and simple. The prosecutor that handled our case, Robert Egret, he was just amazing. I know it takes a whole team, but he was the face, right? He was the person, calling me, giving me updates. When you're a mother, you're used to holding somebody's hand through a process, explaining things, but I couldn't do that for myself. It was very difficult. And Robert, he was just amazing. He called me, regardless of how small the situation was or how big the situation was. It didn't matter. If I called him, he returned my phone calls. And just helped me through the process, just giving me information that I needed and explaining things. It's just so important when you're so devastated, so lost and confused. You're also confused during this time.
In the courts, it's a voice that we could, feel supported by the system for crime victims and victims' families, because sometimes when we go to court, you pretty much have no say-so. So you got to sit there and listen and hear the public defenders attack the loved ones, the victims. So having the prosecutor, is very important, to hear them fight for justice for your loved ones.
There comes a time in the court proceedings that you do have a voice, but it takes weeks and weeks and weeks of listening to what everyone else has to say. So the only time that you feel like uplifted or that you feel that everything's going to be okay is when the prosecutor is speaking up for you, your loved one, for yourself, for your family.
We need more voices and more young minds to come and represent, crime victims.
Just remember, just like this mom that's right here on this video right now, there's many other moms out there that needs you. And don't give up. And honestly, we don't know when it could happen to one of our loved ones. So don't give up and just keep fighting for us, because we need you.
I'm so proud of this office. It's been named one of the best 5 district attorneys' offices in the nation by objective standards, which is incredible. It is the 5th largest office in the United States, and that means it's a large law firm with every kind of technology support, every kind of expert that you dream of being mentored by is here in this office. It has the investigative, the best support by paralegals, by staff, by IT designers that help you bring your case to life in the courtroom. It has the best mentorship, the best facilities. We believe in making sure that our prosecutors are able to have the equipment and the training that they need to reach that level of excellence. It also has so many specialized units so that it's almost like having multiple law firms in one. So whether you want to practice white collar fraud and go after fraudsters, environmental crime, or whether you want to do murder, sexual assault, or human trafficking, or go after organized crime or public corruption, there are specialized units in all these areas so that you're almost able to choose multiple careers within one noble career. It's a very exciting office.
The San Diego District Attorney's Office stands out in the progressive, out-of-the-box divisions that exist here. For example, I'm the Executive Director of One Safe Place, the Family Justice Center that brings together over 100 organizations under one roof to provide wraparound services to victims of abuse. In less than 3 years, we've helped 7,000 victims escape abuse and have hope.
What sets this office apart is the community and the people in this office that really foster an environment conducive to making us the best attorneys and prosecutors we can be. I did every single one of my internships in law school at this office, and I really got the feel that everybody was dedicated to the job, proud of what they do, and really wanted to continue mentoring the younger attorneys in this office to do the same.
We really take care of our younger lawyers. We put them through a really extensive training protocol. We assign mentors to each lawyer. And if you have certain goals that you want to achieve, this office really helps you do that. We know that when you first start, there's very little that you know, and there's a lot of apprehension and fear. At the office really, in a sense, metaphorically holds your hand and takes you down the road in easing you into the difficult realities of being a trial lawyer, especially a prosecutor in today's world.
The San Diego County DA's office stands out from other offices because of the mentorship, the camaraderie, the teamwork, and the fact that everyone in this office cares about doing what's right over what's easiest.
The more I learned about the office while I was going through law school, the more I realized that the San Diego DA's office is at the leading edge of really good initiatives like the collaborative justice system and other things that we're doing to help reduce recidivism, but also protect victims of crimes and reduce crimes.
The San Diego County District Attorney's Office is a wonderful office. It's such a great balance. On one hand, we are focused and committed to fighting for justice, for keeping the community safe. But on the other hand, we also have numerous programs through diversion, through homeless outreach programs, juvenile diversion programs that are constantly looking to try to help individuals and to try to make sure that they can succeed in the future.
Well, we are the leaders in many aspects as well in the legal community, not only locally, but also nationally. And in fact, a lot of our prosecutors actually train other legal professionals from other countries about the criminal justice system here locally in San Diego.
As district attorney, I really prioritize the wellness of our team because if we're not well, then we can't serve well. So it's really important to me that we provide people with the ability to take time off, also the ability to have, in most of our facilities, we have gyms where they can work out, they can exercise. We have therapy consulting service that's there to support people if they need any mental health support because of the very difficult cases that sometimes can be gut-wrenching. We have a lot of team building activities, a lot of competitions that are really healthy within the team. Really prioritize family to make sure that people are able to take care of their families, which makes them be able to invest in this wider DA family. So people make this a career because they feel that they're supported and they want to be here for the long run. I hope you come and you join our team. This team is dedicated to serving the community while having the best job ever, where you have a front seat to justice and to making sure that everyone has safety and dignity.
Come join our team.
Come join our team.
Come join our team.
Come join our team.